Fire away, somebody.
What's up, Blake? A couple days of camp here now so far. I'm sure it's great to be back. What's it like to have kind of played a role in Hugh Robertson coming to Illinois, and what's that process been like?
Yeah, it's been really good. We started early on. We've always been wanting to have someone come in, whether that's after me or like Hugh's coming in now. And me and Lig spoke about bringing in just a guy, like a really solid guy to compete with, to selfishly make myself better and push the KPS group along. And I'm very, very happy that he went with the Australian route as well, because it's just a repayment to Nathan Chapman and John Smith at Pro Kick Australia. It's good to see that. Well, it's great to see that Coach Smith and Coach Lig have trust in them. And that was one thing that when I got here, that was one of the ultimate goals was to have another Australian replace me, because the work that those guys do down in Pro Kick is just unmatched, and it's a great form of repayment for them.
Yeah, hey Blake, congratulations on getting back. You had a record-setting year last season. How do you improve upon that, and what are you looking to do this season?
Yeah, there's a lot to improve on from last year, and it was our first year putting in a new scheme. So we have a lot of guys coming back, a lot of guys hungry to improve their technique, as long as improving my technique as well. Consistency with my hang time and direction and distance, as always, is a keys in improving my game. And us as a punt team, we want to do better. We always want to strive to do better, and that ultimately comes from Coach Lig pushing us to be the best that we can be.
The next question I have is, a lot of fans might not know Ethan Tabell's name just because he's a long snapper, but how important has he been to your success these last few years at Illinois?
He's as important as the next man. Without a good snap, there isn't a good punt. Without a good snap, there isn't a good kick. I mean, if you have a bad snap against that Wisconsin game, there's no game winner. It's really small things. I mean, you see on the field goal, every time I catch it with the laces pointing forward, most, like the average fan wouldn't notice those small little details that we try and perfect. And, he's almost at that level of perfection where it's almost becoming like boring to watch, as we say around like the KPS unit. You want to get to that level where it's just the same thing every time. And he's extremely close to that, and he's working at it every day, and he's just couldn't have a better snapper to have on the team.
Thanks, Blake. That's all I have. Appreciate it.
Hey Blake, hope you're well, man. Do you know Hugh? I know he's from Melbourne. I know he's way older than you, but do you know him, and what do you know about him, and what do you think about him as a punter at all?
Yeah, I met him last time I was home, which I think was December. I met him. He was about a month into Pro Kick, so he was still pretty raw. He has a massive kick. That's one thing that I remember from when he first started, which is a really good sign. And he's been sending me film and that. We've been exchanging. We've been chatting for a fair bit now. Just trying to help him as much as I can. And he's got all the tools to succeed. I mean, he's got massive leg. He's got all the Australian skill sets that you look for. And obviously with being older, I think it's a really good thing, to be honest. It brings a lot of maturity. And with his background as well, it will bring a lot of maturity to the locker room. I'm friends with a couple of the older guys from Pro Kick, and they're well respected within their crew, because they're not afraid to speak up, they're not afraid to lead, and definitely see that out of Hugh. And I'm excited to see what he does, because it's a great opportunity.
What can you provide him in that transition to football that maybe you didn't have? I mean, I know Legs was there, but to have somebody that's gone through it right there with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. There's a lot of things. I mean, I know for sure, like when I started, when I came over here, like he's in the same boat as when I was. Like he has, I mean, yesterday he found out what KPS means. The small stuff like that, you know, show him film of practice, just the small things like formations, like how practice runs, like how many kicks we do, and then in game, like routines, because it's not just about, you know, running out there and hitting a ball. There's a lot that goes into it, like whether you know, like long down and distance on third down, you're probably likely to punt. You know, just so many different situations that you're not really akin to when you come over here. So just small things like that. I hope that I can provide him with just a little bit more confidence as he comes in, because, you know, it is a tough transition, but anything to make it easier is great.
And one more thing, he has kangaroo racing listed in his bio. Is that real? And would you know anything about that?
Yeah, I spoke to him about it last night. Yeah, definitely real. He went head to head with the kangaroo and got the job done. So hopefully, seems like a quick guy.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Hey, Blake. So I'm sure you're aware that in May, Mel Kiper with ESPN put his list together for the 2021 draft, and he had you as the top punter in the country or in the draft. I'm sure that's, I guess, on your radar that, you know, you came over here to try this college football thing, and now it might be something. So talk me through where your brain goes when you see stuff like that.
I mean, first of all, it kind of goes to the punt team as a whole. It's not just me out there. It's always the gunners and the protection. I mean, I can't kick without the ball. Can't kick without the line protecting me, and I can't kick without the guys running downfield. So as I see it, it's a kind of a whole punt team recognition along with Coach League and the KPS guys. And, you know, secondly, I'm just trying to focus on what I can do at Illinois to help the team win. I'm not looking forward not looking ahead that forward at all. Just trying to really focus on my game here and what kicks can I do and how can I improve to help us, you know, get better net punt, get better inside 20s for this coming season.
You know, he also had James McCourt as the number 2 kicker in the country. So do you and James then look at it as like, hey, we can be the top combo in all of college football?
Right. I mean, again, it's a preseason, you know, it's a preseason deal. So, you know, you definitely want to make sure you're on those at the end of the year. But again, me and James don't really look at those things. We just want to do the best that we can for the team. And I mean, if you end up on those rankings, then that's great. But you know, if coach is happy with how you're doing and how you're helping the team, then that's all we can ask for.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Blake. Yesterday, Jake and Palcho kind of talked about how it's sort of on individual responsibility to make sure everybody's following protocols and everything in place to make football happen. How would you feel like just over the last 2 months you and your teammates have done in that regard?
Yeah, we've done really well. I think you know, it's a challenging time for everyone, and you know, I live in a house with 7 guys. They're all on the punt team, and you know, we're trying to find ways. I mean, we're trying to stay together as much as we can, not branch out. You know, just head out to the shops if we absolutely need to. Just kind of staying at home, bundled in, and you know, I know all the guys are doing the same thing. There's a lot of buy-in from basically everyone on the team. Everyone wants to play. Everyone wants the season to go ahead, and we know that you know, the way the virus is, if you know, one person gets it, then it can be a ripple effect through the team, and you see teams shutting down. And it's obviously not a good thing because you miss time away from the field, and that's vital. So we're doing everything we can to just really limit our contact and make sure we're all safe.
Hey, Blake, when we talked over quarantine, I think you talked about maybe experimenting with new things or working on the mental side of the game. Have you added anything in those capacities that maybe even specifically mentally or how this quarantine helped you with that?
Yeah, definitely with the mental routine, it's definitely been helping me, and as well as the KPS guys. We talk about a lot because there's an old saying like 50% of the game is 90% mental. So just that focus going in, and for us, it's a lot of muscle memory, and with the KPS position, you can get caught up in a lot of external things, but ultimately it's internal and your mental attitude and that. So we've been really hammering it as a group and trying to stay positive through this time, and on the field, just really pushing each other in a positive way to get better. So yeah.
Thanks, Blake.
Hey, Blake, hope you're well. I know, kind of piggybacking on Joey's question a little bit, a lot of times you guys are off on your own at practice doing your own thing and not with the rest of the team. Now, with the possibility of having less fans in the stands, or possibly even, some cases if things get worse, no fans in the stands, how is that going to interrupt your psyche with, or do you not think about that when you're out there doing your thing, punting?
It'll be different having like a minimal crowd. We've spoken about it. You might be able to hear, the guys in the line. Sometimes they're a bit chirpy. You might be able to hear the guys on the sideline. But really, it's just, at the end of the day, it's the same thing. You're just Ethan's gonna snap me the ball. The guys are gonna protect. Guys are gonna run downfield, and I'm gonna kick the ball. So we're gonna do the best job we can to really eliminate all that external things that are going on, and just focus internally on the field and how we can get the best out of that.
Thanks, Blake. Appreciate it.
He's muted. I think you're muted, Bob.
Gotcha. Okay, now you can hear me, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, now the schedule is set. Are your parents and family talking about coming over here, or is that not going to be possible? What you're thinking of that, and how important would it be as a senior to have them come over here?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Currently, the state that I live in, Victoria, is under a 6-week lockdown at the moment. They're doing it pretty tough for the moment. They were very low on cases, and then it spiked back up to like 700 a day. So they're on like full complete lockdown with like police finding people if you're outside a 5-kilometer radius of your house. So yeah, for my parents to get over this year, it's looking unlikely, but they're going to try everything and look at every loophole possible to get over here, whether that's for one game or a handful. The original plan was to catch the back end and then be here for senior day, which obviously would have been amazing. Might not be the case this year, but as I speak to my parents, they've been rock solid with their support and just been urging me to take it day by day, because even with football, things are changing, things are rapidly changing, nothing's set in stone. So that's all you really can do, is just take it day by day.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you. Cool.